So we are going to have a little bit of camera gymnastics today. I wanted to show you this rock wall. I have a reason for that. I always do, right? I've got to step over this fern that is under my feet. But I wanted to show you this because it will be a visual for you with the story that I'm going to tell you. And I'm almost out of rocks here, so then I'm going to have to move to another spot so I can set this down, and that is it. That's the last of the rocks. Okay, I'm just going to walk over here and tell you a little bit of a story. So there's this piece of the property where I had these rocks and I didn't know what to do with them. So I decided I kind of wanted to have a little bit of a rock wall, which is what you saw. Now, the smartest thing to do would have been to put them in a wheelbarrow. And we talk about working smarter, not harder, and that makes sense in so many places. But I decided to work harder on purpose because I had this little area of the property. It just didn't look very good, and I thought, I should kind of make this rock wall and then put some mulch behind it so the ferns that are growing up, so it looks better. So I decided that I would carry these rocks from where they were, and some of them I actually moved 2 times because I kind of changed the way I had the rocks a little bit. But I decided to work harder and not smarter, and sometimes I think that's the right answer. So I could have put them in a wheelbarrow, but I decided, if I carry them, I am getting more exercise. I'm using my body the way it was created to be in motion, and it's just better for me physically. I'm carrying them longer, retaining muscle, etc. So I could have put them in a wheelbarrow, and that would have been the most efficient and fastest way, but I decided I wasn't going to do it that way. I decided I would move them all. So I have a few more, but the rest of them are too large for me, so this is where it's at the moment. But that is the reason I wanted to show you all of those rocks. And there's a purpose for this story, and we're going to be in 2 Timothy 2:15. Let's start there, which is why I had to put the phone down and record in a different spot so I could open the Bible. It says, "Be diligent to present yourself approved to God, a worker who does not need to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." So that passage, I've said that passage plenty of times. I'm sure you all know it because you read your Bibles. But here's the thing. Sometimes, isn't it just easiest, and you think it might be smartest, I'll just listen to the pastor? But honey, sometimes the pastor, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Some pastors get their sermons off the internet. So I remember being a young child and asking questions of the pastor who didn't really have an answer for me. And it wasn't until I was older, when I was reading for myself and studying, that I realized I'd been lied to. And it would have been easiest. And probably for many people, they would say, oh, it's just smarter, just listen to the pastor. Don't put the work in for yourself. But sometimes you need to do the harder and not the smarter. Because sometimes the smarter really isn't smarter, right? So this whole purpose of this video is to encourage you to put in the work yourself. Just start reading. Even if you don't even know what you're looking for or what you're reading for, just start reading it. That's what I did. I just began to read, and I had some mentors who had taught me many things, and I just began to just read it because I knew I had been lied to, but I didn't even know about all the things that I had been lied to. So I just started reading, and it was harder, and I could have just continued to listen to the pastor from the pulpit tell me things that weren't true. So sometimes working smarter, what you think is smarter isn't. And sometimes working harder is better. I hope that this encourages you and that you have a blessed day. Armor up. We ride at dawn. May God bless you as always. Have a great day.